So, Willy's Wonderland is out on VOD this week, and of course, we're gonna talk about it. So let's get into it. Hello friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side, a place for those who live, talk, and buy movies. And if you guys have seen this movie, then comment down below what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? But anyway, on to my thoughts, shall we? So this movie was directed by Kevin Lewis and stars Nicolas Cage, who ends up working as a janitor overnight at Willy's Wonderland in order to get his car fixed, but little does he know that the animatronics come to life, and well, let's just say that violence occurs. I've been looking forward to this movie for quite a while, as you can probably see, because I'm wearing an official Willy's Wonderland shirt here. But you know, this movie actually looked like it'd be kind of interesting with all the developments, the news stories, and the trailers and things like that. And of course, some people will make the comparison to Five Nights at Freddy's, because you know, both have pizza places with killer animatronics and all kinds of world building. But I think honestly, this movie does a good job of standing apart from the Five Nights at Freddy's series, because in Five Nights at Freddy's, it's about playing a security guard who gets haunted by these animatronics, whereas in this movie, it's basically the animatronics end up getting hunted by Nicolas Cage, which I think is why the movie works so well, is because it knows exactly what it's trying to be, just a B movie with lots of bloody, insane violence with Nicolas Cage ripping the heads off of animatronic characters and things like that. And while we're talking about Nicolas Cage, he is of course the star of the movie, because, well, let's face it, anybody that wants to see this movie wants it because of the basic tagline, Nicolas Cage versus animatronics, and it gets real bloody really fast. And oddly enough, Nicolas Cage doesn't utter a single word throughout the entire movie, which when I heard that was going to be a thing, I was like, okay, how is that gonna work exactly? But honestly, after you kind of see him go ham wild on a couple of the animatronics and the screaming and just the overall swagger that ultimately only Nicolas Cage could pull off, it's like, okay, that works. You definitely don't want to mess with this guy. There's this one running joke throughout the entire movie where after Nicolas Cage like brutally destroys one of the animatronics, his shirt gets all bloodied and stuff, so he goes into the janitor's closet and puts on a brand new one, which I just thought was kind of funny, mostly because I have one of these shirts too, and quite frankly, if one of them got super bloody, I'd probably just live with it. And speaking of the animatronics, I thought they were all really cool and uniquely designed. They have their own different personalities and like attack methods, which I think is really nice, so that way it's not just wave upon wave of the exact same animatronic fight over and over again for 100 minutes. If I had to pick a favorite animatronic, it would have to either be Gus the gorilla, the guardian of the bathroom that makes sure you wipe your hands after you make poop, or Willy the Weasel himself, just because he's kind of like the final boss. On top of that, I think there's actually some really good world building going on here between, you know, Willy's Wonderland, the animatronics, and just the town as a whole with the history of this place, which again is where some of the Five Nights at Freddy's comparisons do kind of come into play. But again, like I said at the beginning, you know, I think it does a good job of separating itself from Five Nights at Freddy's with a few, you know, noteworthy differences here and there. I honestly would have liked it if some of the world building was left like little hidden Easter eggs in the background and stuff, so instead of just being told everything, you kind of have to piece it together a little bit by taking little details from the movie by watching it a couple of times, but really that's just me. The movie does fall into a few horror cliches here and there, you know, the kind of stuff you'd see in slasher movies kind of like this, you know, including, you know, the sexed up teenagers getting killed during the sexy times, with which Artie the alligator basically says, "Go to horny jail." Bonk. But I can always forgive stuff like that as long as the movie itself takes those cliches and packages them into an entertaining movie overall, which I think this movie does very well. So overall, Willy's Wonderland is a fun, bloody, and insane movie that as long as you don't come into it expecting like Shakespeare or something, I think you'll have a good time with it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy watching Nicolas Cage brutally murder animatronics for 90 minutes. And there you go. So, all in all, I'm gonna give Willy's Wonderland a gold unboxing machete. So if you want to see some more videos from me like this, you can check out this playlist right over here. And if you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch me next, you can check out that video right down there. And of course, subscribe if you live, talk, and buy movies. And we'll see you on the Brockopp side.